The automatic transmission, simply put, is a hydraulically operated gearbox which features a torque converter, which is also known as a fluid coupling, which is to the automatic the same as a clutch is to a manual transmission. We're using the Chevrolet 350 turbo hydra-matic transmission as a visual aid in this production. However, most contemporary automatic transmissions work on the same principles. Therefore, the information, procedures, and techniques highlighted in this production will also apply to those transmissions. We strongly recommend that before proceeding on your transmission, you properly identify exactly which make and model you have, and then obtain that exact factory manual for that transmission. If you exercise patience and work carefully, you will find that good results are easily obtained. Now, let's get to know the transmission by looking at it from the inside out. At the core of the automatic transmission is a planetary gearset. The planetary gearset is what allows a transmission to have different gear ranges and reverse. A planetary gear unit is comprised of three main elements: a sun gear, which is at the center of the gear set, a planetary gear set, which revolves around the sun gear, and the shell gear, which revolves around the outside of the planetary. It is sometimes referred to as an internal gear because the teeth face to the inside of the diameter. The components stack in this manner. You have your sun gear at the center, which engages the inside of your planetary gears. Your planetary gears then engage the inside of the shell gear. To further demonstrate, I'm going to use these V-blocks and a rest shaft to show you the function of the planetary assembly. With the sun gear held stationary, if we rotate the shell gear, we'll notice that the planetary unit here moves at a slower speed than the driving action of the shell gear. If our output power was being taken off of the planetary gear at this time, you would be in a state of reduction. If we were to make the planetary stationary and drive with the sun gear, notice that the output shaft is experiencing reverse rotation. This will give us reverse. In order to get several reduction ranges, most transmissions will use more than one planetary assembly stacked together, such as in this transmission. At this end we have another sun gear, which operates with another planetary gear, and to complete the matching setup, another shell gear. Combined, these will give us a low, a medium, and coupled directly together will give us our direct or third gear and reverse. All of the other components of the transmission, such as our clutch packs, our one-way clutch rollers, the valve body, all together control which direction and which sets of planetary gears are coupled together, which give us our different ranges of the transmission. Here are the internal assemblies of Chevrolet's 350 turbo hydra-matic transmission. From front to rear, we have the front pump assembly, which also houses the intermediate 1 to 2 piston assembly. We have our intermediate 1 to 2 clutch pack. Okay. We have our direct clutch assembly in here with our direct clutch piston. We have our intermediate apply band and the intermediate one-way roller clutch. Next, we have our forward clutch with our input shaft. Next, we have our input ring gear, our output planetary carrier, our reverse roller clutch assembly, and reverse clutch pack. We have our sun gear, which is part of our reaction carrier assembly. And our output shaft. Along with all of that, we have our valve body, which is a brain that controls the transmission internally. Also aiding in control of the components is our governor, which reacts with line pressure. Before me are the minimum specialty tools required to perform a quality automatic transmission overhaul. In the measuring department, we have a dial indicator for checking end-play of the shafts. We have inside and outside micrometers, or snap gauges for inside measurement. Micrometers ranging from 0 to 1 and 1 to 2 inches. A set of feeler gauges, snap ring pliers, a handy tool made out of piano wire crimped into a piece of brake tubing, which greatly aids in installation of lip seals, an internal spring compressor for removing the in-case clutch assemblies, an external compressor for working on your drum type clutch assemblies, a modified screwdriver formed into a small hook for removing internal case snap rings, a slide hammer with a threaded end on it, which will match the threads in the front pump assembly for removal of it from the main case, a torque wrench, a medium-sized hammer, and most important, a small block of hardwood. These, along with common tools of different dimensions of wrenches, sockets, screwdrivers, is really all that's basically required to overhaul your transmission.